Welcome to the hottest real estate topics on the planet, keeping you up to date with all the creative ways to buy and sell real estate without bank qualifying, so anyone can build real income starting today. Here is another great show with Dealmaker Bill and Pete the Rookie.
All right, here we are at another episode of Flipping Houses for Rookies. And I'm $100 Bill.
Wow, you are $100 Bill.
Yeah.
I'm Pete the Rookie, Class 5.
Naomi the Dealmaker.
Class 5.
Class.
Don't listen to him. That was totally like such an inside joke. He's so far inside right now he can't see any daylight.
Only Naomi and I have discussed it. You don't even know what it is. I'll tell you sometime.
Yeah?
Yeah, we have to have ranks for the rookies. You don't go from rookie to Dealmaker overnight. It's stage by stage. I'm up to Class 5. I'll tell you later.
I think there's multiple inside jokes going on here.
Is this an anarchy or what? Is he taking over?
No, I'm just taking responsibility for my job.
See, that's the thing. You never fight against a system. You just recreate a new one that takes over the old system.
And then get everybody else convinced.
The best way to
get everybody
take
else
over.
Convinced that that's better than what's there already, and then
That's
they all
right.
switch.
Bill, we've actually
Tom
read that.
Sawyer. Tom Sawyer.
Oh, boy.
Is that where that's from?
Tom Sawyer painting the fence.
Yeah.
Huckleberry Finn is watching on. He's like, oh, don't you wish you had the pleasure of watching the magic of this fence, this old dirty fence becoming fresh and white and painting such a beautiful picture that finally Huckleberry Finn wants to take over. So he does. And then Tom Sawyer sits back and like enjoys
watching him paint the fence.
Didn't like 2 or 3 other kids show up too and they start painting too?
I don't remember.
That works for me and my wife.
Oh, no.
So I'm not your Huckleberry.
No. Oh, no, you're not. No.
All right, so we're on to move on here. This conversation went south really quick. This is like going knocking on the door. I'm here to look at your house, and the next thing you know, you're in a dungeon basement with no lights and a dirt floor. That's what just happened there.
Yeah, but you get dessert with it.
Dessert. What are you talking about?
Well, there's gotta be pleasurable points with it.
All right, episode number 80. Stop dreaming and start making money.
Yeah.
Stop dreaming and start making money. So the description on Facebook, if you're not on Facebook, and if you want to go watch this episode, we do a live stream every Thursday morning, and you can go to facebook.com/flipping houses for rookies, and they are all there. If you don't see them in the stream, then go to the video link on the left-hand side, and they are all there. Or you can go to flippinghouses.club/podcast. And Emma's done a great job. I was on the website the other day. All now 80 videos. I mean, all 80 podcasts are there.
Oh, wow.
We used to pre-record 2 weeks in advance or 3 weeks in advance. And because of the holidays, we're actually behind. So we are actually recording on a Thursday and uploading on a Monday. So I don't want to stay that way too long. I don't know how we're going to fix that. But in other words, their content is within the week now. So when we're talking, I know in the past we used to talk about stuff and it would be 2 or 3 weeks out before it was aired. So it's like almost live now. So, and I want to talk about that this year. I want to talk about actually taking phone callers. Like taking people on the phone. I have a little microphone that we could do that, and Emma set me up. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we're going to talk about that soon. So actually taking live callers. So maybe we can do it on Skype instead of the telephone. So I'd like to start taking some guests. I've had I wouldn't say an abundance, but a lot of people sending me emails lately wanting to advertise on the podcast because of how many downloads we have and stuff. So far, I haven't let it happen. So, but there are a few people. I would advertise a few of the vendors that we're using, but I don't want to. I'm not ready to do that. But I would like to maybe get some guest speakers. Actually, not even guest speakers, but people out there that are actually doing business.
Right.
So if there's somebody, I'm shouting out right now. If there's somebody out there that would like to be, I wouldn't say a guest, but might have questions or might have something that they can add to the show, I would like for you to send me a support ticket, and let's talk about it. And we'll get Emma to techie us up and get on Facebook. And I'm sorry, not on Facebook, on Skype. Yeah. And see if we can mix it up a little bit so it's not just the three of us.
It's not just us.
So I've had some feedback with you.
Yes.
Yeah, they like you. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Matter of fact, I was thinking Pete had his hair cut last week, and he made a mistake because obviously having long hair is like the
Was-
thing. Because they're like sending in, they really like you. They think Naomi's cool.
Wow. Thank you,
Yes.
everybody. Oh, my gosh.
It might not just be the hair.
Oh, here we go.
We're going back to the dungeon. The huckleberries.
Maybe I'm just saying that maybe they like you, not your hair. That's a good thing.
I was expecting an insult. How shallow of me.
Just because
Automatically, defenses are up.
Pete made a big deal about his haircut last week, so I figured I'd make a stupid joke. So
It's too
All right,
short.
so-
I can tell that it grows
short.
longer on this side than that side.
Pete's an old hippie. He likes long hair.
No. It's the other way. It's-
All right, so stop dreaming and start making money. Let's get right down to it and stop goofing off. So on Facebook, what I printed in the description was, so many people dream about making money with real estate investments. Listen to this podcast for a major breakthrough on how you can collect a real estate profit next month using a $100 deposit and no loan.
Ooh.
So this promise I made for you, why don't you start, Naomi?
Which promise?
The promise right there.
On this-
That's the
Hang
promise.
on, I was zoning off on his hair.
His hair.
That's
Oh,
like
you were
I
still
can
on
watch it
Pete's
growing.
haircut?
Stop dreaming. So many people dream about making money in real estate. Listen.
So the
Yeah.
first thing
Make money
think-
next month.
Next
Make
month.
money in your pocket by next month.
Yeah. So the first thing
That's the part that I hear.
the first thing I
I'm
want
sure it'll happen.
I want to cover is I know that recently we've had a little bit. Naomi and I have had I want to say a rash, like a flurry of. I don't know why, but all of a sudden people are calling our Pat Live phone number.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the sign, but I'm not sure. People that are on Facebook and buying courses and stuff, and they have questions, they're now calling the phone.
Like from the show.
Yeah, I don't know where they come
Well,
from.
you're not talking
Facebook?
about. You're not
That's
talking
because
about.
on Facebook, that's our phone number.
Oh,
the
there you
Pat
go.
Live phone
That-
number.
duh.
That
When
would
you
explain
look up our
it.
business on Facebook,
Duh.
that's the number that's
There you go.
It's listed. That's
Right.
the number listed.
Yeah, Pat Live. Well,
Okay.
because at least I know somebody would answer.
Well, usually yellow letter marketing people call Pat Live. So you're talking about people watching the show
Because
calling Pat Live.
I put the phone number for Pat Live on there so that we would make sure somebody answers the phone. Because God knows if you call me, we already know what happens there.
There's the dungeon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That was a zinger.
I definitely believe in doing what I'm doing while I'm
it
doing
just goes.
it. Just doesn't stop.
Just keeps going. So, Bill, what happens when people call Pat Live with the questions? Does Pat Live go confused, or what does she do?
No, she just puts notes in the bottom. The
Yeah.
operator puts notes in the bottom, and then Naomi calls him back and then sends me an email and says, you need to talk to this person.
Okay, so it kind of works.
Yeah.
Like your secretary.
Yeah, recently we've had a few people. Anyways, I don't even know how we got on this topic, but I think where was I even
You were
going
saying
with
you had a flurry of people calling in to that number.
that? Yeah, all right. So
From
I guess
this.
it's just feedback that I'm getting that people really don't believe they can do this. I mean, there's a problem with belief.
Well, wait a minute. Do they believe that it can't be done, or they can't do it?
Still trying to figure it out. Well, I know it can be done because we do it every day.
Yeah, but I mean, in their mind, when you look at something, anything, you have to think, does it work,
Right.
or can I do it? It's two different things.
Well, then
I think it's with any new thing that people are learning, they have this distance between the goal and themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense, they almost need to kind of fast forward and picture the two of them together, like the goal achieved. But with that distance, it's kind of like what I've found is that once people have put a sufficient amount of training and thought and in small incremental steps, that eventually they feel worthy that they can get to that point.
Right.
But I know that
We call that confidence.
Right, the confidence.
Yep.
But I know that if they just kind of have immersion into it, which I know that you're doing a seminar coming up pretty soon,
Yes.
which is going to provide that immersion.
Right.
And
When you say immersion, you mean involvement?
involvement
doing it,
actually
sitting
doing
there.
it. And once you actually do it, you get
Yeah.
that confidence that
Yeah.
Right. So two things that you just said there I'd like to make a comment on. First of all, I did a seminar a year ago, and it was called Goals Are for Losers. And I still believe that. Goals
Yeah.
are for losers.
yeah.
Okay? And the whole seminar was predicated on, and I did like, I don't know, a 90-minute seminar on it. And at the end of the day, it's goals are for losers.
Yeah.
If you don't have a system to back up what it is that you want to do, then yeah, a goal is for a loser.
Right.
So when I talk about a system, I'm talking about habits. Like, what do you do on Monday morning at 8 o'clock?
Yep.
Right? Like one of the titles that I have, because I wrote out, I woke up to tell Pete, I woke up at Christmas time because I was kind of like, a little restless because I wasn't doing my regular routine. And I woke up one morning and I'm like, I got to get all this shit out of my head. And I wrote over 200 titles for emails.
Yeah, you said that. Oh my gosh.
And I did it like in an hour because I just wanted to get it out of my head. So I'm referencing those titles. So one of those titles in there was actually talking about, oh man, that's twice I lost my thought today. Man, it's bad.
So in the title, you were talking about...
Yeah, so just talking about how people... Oh, I know what it was. One of the titles is would you rather watch TV or make money?
Oh, that is hitting
wait a minute.
a nerve.
It depends on the show, right?
My wife would rather watch TV.
Most people would.
Yeah.
They come home from work and they sit down in front of their sofa
Right.
and watch TV.
Right.
Yeah.
So so that's the point is what's the sense in having goals if you don't have a system to back it up?
Yeah.
So your system is actually, when I mean a system, I'm not talking like an organization, you put this, turn this machine on and turn that machine off, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your habits in your life.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
And when you inventory that and you're honest with yourself, you realize you got a lot of time.
Yeah. Have a lot of time.
So the next thing that happens is what are you doing with your time? And then the next thing that happens, once you realize what you're doing with your time and you kind of work out, okay, so I have this available time. Now it's what do you do? Mm-hmm. And we touched upon this on the show last week. What's the difference between a pro and an amateur? And I gave you my definition of the two, which is an amateur they think all the information or all the data is important. So they're hanging on to everything thinking that it's all important. Mm-hmm. Where a pro knows what's important and what's not to do. Now, what I mean by that is a pro knows what things, he knows if I do A, B, and C, I'm going to get this. Right? So, you're kind of, we talked about this with you yesterday,
right,
because you're coming up to a different level where you're working on deals that you really want.
Right.
We don't have to take every deal. We're like, we just bought a 2-family and it's like, we're excited.
It's a great deal.
Right.
It's a great deal.
So that's the deal that will go through because your innate energy will automatically follow that.
Right.
That possibility or that
replicate.
Yeah. It'll give you that
right
thing that you want.
Yeah.
Because where you put, I have this saying. Let me see if I get it. I can't remember it now. Where you put your energy, where energy goes, result. What is it?
Where your focus go, energy flows, results
show. Yeah. Yeah. Something.
Focus, energy, results.
Yeah, I'll think of it in a minute. But the point is that where you direct your energy, you control your mental image pictures. So
right.
Whatever you put your attention on, okay, is what you're going to get. I mean, if you look at your environment and you don't like your environment, well, you can't. Changing the environment is useless. That's just the symptom of the disease. The real problem is what you're thinking.
Right. So you need to change your focus. If you don't like that environment, focus on a different environment, and transition starts to happen.
Right. And the thing that I find is it's not what you're thinking. It's actually your acceptance level that's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's what are you willing to accept?
Exactly.
So are you willing to accept that you are 20 pounds overweight? Are you willing to accept that you don't have enough money at the end of the month? You have too much month, not enough money?
Yeah.
Right? Are you willing to accept that you are going to watch TV tonight instead of actually doing real estate?
Right.
So it's your acceptance level that really needs to be changed, not anything else. Because once you make up your mind and if you're, steadfast enough about it, then you will go. So we kind of went down this rabbit hole because we're talking about belief. Peter says that, do you believe in the system or do you believe that you can do it? Well, we talked last week that I'm calling this the Henry Ford model, remember?
Yeah.
So you want to explain that? You want me to do it?
Well, Henry Ford had an idea that it wasn't just how much money can he make selling cars. He just had an idea. He wanted everybody to have a car.
Every American.
Yeah. Now it's international.
Yeah.
But, at that point,
Right.
every American have a car. It was an idea he had. And I'm reading some books on business, and you have to have an idea of your business, what you want to do. And it's not just what should I make and how much can I make from it. It's like, what's your idea? What's your environment? What's your model? What's your thought behind it? Why are you doing this?
Right.
So if he had that idea, and did he state that out loud too? Did he?
Oh, yeah.
He promoted it that
He wanted
way.
every American to have an affordable car. He wanted every American to have a car and be able to afford it.
So imagine, just take that idea that he had that in his mind, and he says that to people, and they start thinking.
In the early
he
1900s, when cars were like only the elite had the cars.
Yeah.
Right.
Like out of 1,000 people, one person had a car.
Yeah.
Or whatever the number was.
But because he has the thought, because he wants it to happen, and he says it to people, they start thinking, he wants me to have a car.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a car.
Right.
They wouldn't have thought that unless he said that first.
Right.
So your idea is to do the same thing for people with real estate, that it isn't this thing just for the
Right.
elite and you have to be rich to buy it and all those things. Like, you're not supposed to have things before you do things. You should be able to do something and get there. In the old age, came to America, went out in the woods with an axe.
Here we go.
And a few weeks later, you had a house. Did you buy it? Did you go down to the bank? You built the damn thing.
Right.
So you did things to acquire things.
Right.
So you don't have things to have things. You do things to have things. Did I rant?
Yes.
Yeah,
You did.
but it's true.
Pulled the bill.
People talk about that. I can't because. Shut up. Find something you can do, because there always is something you can do.
Right.
Right. It's like the word satisfaction. Satis is
Like I can't get no.
Satis is, I think, Latin for enough. So enough action brings
Yeah.
satisfaction.
Right.
Well, that's good.
So,
Yeah.
it's a combined thing.
Well, because Henry Ford had this concept, that was his mission, right? So his mission was every American should have an affordable car. Now what happens is he created the assembly line, which is where he made his money. That assembly line is really what the fortune is, right? He also, now that he made the assembly line, he was having trouble. I mean, if you think about the evolution of problems he had, now he builds this machine that now he doesn't have enough people to work on the assembly line because the orders keep coming in, because cars were like $600 back then, and that was affordable. Actually, they were $300 when they first started.
Right. But then
Right.
$300 back then in today's money.
Yeah, but even so, it's like
But-
$3,000. I mean, somebody could afford. You know what I mean? It's like it was affordable. That's
Yeah.
what my point is that it was affordable.
Affordable.
Yeah.
Affordable.
Stop. Guys are playing me on words today.
So
So
he might have done that.
yeah. So it was affordable. So what happened was they kept getting more and more orders. So the assembly line was good, but he didn't have enough people. So obviously, back then they were making, I think, $2 or $3 a day. An average person would make $2 or $3 a day. So he offered $5 a day, and that made him he got like crowds of people, and he put his assembly line together, and so people started assembling, right? Then the next thing that happened was, and a lot of people don't know this, he actually created the 40-hour work week because he wanted his people that worked in the factory to go out and enjoy their cars.
Would they work 6 days a week in those days?
No, 5 days.
But I mean, before that.
I think
I
7
think
days.
7 days.
I think
7?
people just didn't get a day off.
I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah.
There was no protocol.
It was just brutal.
Well, I don't think Sunday. They were pretty religious.
Probably
back then.
six.
You read
then.
like the old stories, and it's like people from dusk to dawn every day.
Yeah, but your
You know.
people would have got Saturday off. My people would have had Sunday off.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. So it must have been 6 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just saying that there was no standardization like there is now. Now that's how it is. But all I'm saying is that he had this dream that every American should own a car. So here's my mission. So because of that, I unwound the whole thing in my head, and I think I mentioned it last week. I know I've told you, and I think I've definitely told you guys. But so here's my mission. So what I'm going to guide my resources to do is this: buying and selling real estate simple. And that's it. I'm going to make buying and selling real estate simple. Now that could work in our acquisition company. So when we go sit down with a Homes R Us person
Yeah.
and we're trying to buy their property, what are we going to do?
Make it simple.
Buying and selling real estate simple.
Yeah.
Or it could be somebody wants to learn how to buy and sell real estate. We're going to make it simple. We're going to make buying real estate, buying and selling real estate simple.
And simple to learn, you're saying. Simple to do and simple to learn.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the problem with doing it is learning it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it until you learn it. And I called you 2 years ago because it was a rat nest of information.
Right.
It all looked
Yeah.
good, but it all looked good. And it all looked important. And it looked where do I start?
Right.
So it wasn't simple.
Right. And I know on previous podcasts we have covered, these are things that your real estate agent and attorney doesn't want you to necessarily know. But what about other investors? I mean, there's kind of like this cloak of information, sort of like I'm special, I know this special information. Do you think other investors may not be so happy with this information being made so simple to the common
Probably.
to everybody?
I have a coach that I've been working with, Will is his name. And one of the things that he keeps pouncing on me,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mean that derogatorily, I mean he just keeps putting it in my face,
Right.
is that a lot of guys, a lot of other people that teach real estate
Yeah.
teach it, and they talk about it,
Right.
but there's no evidence that they do it,
Right.
or they had done it like a long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they're rehashing things.
Right.
And they might flip up and I'm not even saying this is 100% correct. I'm just saying I've noticed,
Right.
and he as well noticed because we've been studying on some of the other guys. I still do it every day. I mean, in fact, I'm trying to get this new course out, and I'm having a little trouble. I think I'm going to just take 2 days off. I think I'm going to take Friday and Saturday off this week and just try to
Knock it out.
because it's not hard. I mean, I can do it. It's just screenshots and
It's just taking the time.
I mean, the outline is already in
Right.
in the software. Emma's been working on it. There's an outline there already. It just needs me going in there and getting the videos done. And then I keep bouncing between the videos, the over the shoulder videos,
Yeah.
and the workbook.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one. One day I want to develop the workbook first, and then make the videos, and then. So I think I'm just going to make the videos, and then figure it out from there. And then on October 24th, 2018, at 128 Center Street in Wallingford. Huh?
February.
What did I say?
October.
October?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Bill.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that before, by the way.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
February,
so
October.
if it was October, Peter, that means fishing season's over.
Did you fish this year?
I did.
Oh, good.
Not much.
Yeah.
Only a couple times. But that means we went through August, and that means I went, deep sea fishing with my. No.
Oh, that's right. You did a couple. That's right. You did.
So let's try that again. Thank you, Emma. So February 24th, 2018. I got it right now. I'm so horrible. I'm so horrible with time and dates, and oh my God, I just never know. It's because I work all the time.
Yeah. It all blurs.
Yeah,
I
totally.
do that
Yeah.
all the time.
The food changes. That's about it. On the weekends, the food changes a little bit.
You know what day it is by the food?
Sometimes the food, the food
If it's
changes.
pancakes, it must be Saturday?
Yeah, that kind of thing,
Okay.
yeah. Although I've been a regular down at the diner lately. My wife's in Florida, so I'm just on my own. And anyways, so I just, February 24th, I think that's what you were, just because you talked about it before. Usually I don't use this to promote, but
yeah.
on February 24th at 128 Center Street, the Hubcap, we are going to show the system,
Yeah.
which is not, I mean, it's how you can buy real estate for $100 deposit with no risk, no credit, no anything.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about this in a minute because you brought it up before, why you don't know this. And we talked about it last week on the podcast. I want to talk about it again this week. Why you don't know the strategy. Why is it like
Mystery.
yeah, mystery. That's a good
Right.
word. I was going to say secret, but mystery is
Yeah.
a better word. I like that. Why it's a mystery. Okay. But the thing that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that when you come to this seminar, we're going to actually, I'm going to request that you bring a laptop or some sort of a device that has internet, preferably not your phone, but if we have to do that. And we're going to actually go around the room and we're going to make people like go on Google and get their own leads. And then we're going to actually drill, or well, I say drill, but the word is role play,
Right.
how to use the script.
Right.
And then we're going to actually get on the telephone. And
Exactly.
we're going to make them call and do the script.
Oh my gosh, so scary.
And
You're asking people if they want to sell you their house.
right. And Naomi and I and Pete are going to be there, and we are going to make sure you do it correctly. So we're going to coach you right on
Right.
the spot.
Right.
And believe me, it doesn't need hours and hours of coaching. It's just a little bit.
pretty simple.
So damn simple, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Bill, I like your story about when you were first learning real estate yourself, and you're at a seminar, and they were doing this because this is done. People go in front of the rooms and see how what show. Here's how we do it. And the guy, the guy wasn't that good on the phone, but he wasn't that good on the phone. Right. And you're watching him, and you're thinking, and he actually succeeded somewhat, right?
An idiot. I could do better than that.
Yeah. No names mentioned. The guy's actually very successful.
So do you think that he maybe was deliberately Elmer Fudd on the phone
No.
just to show people?
No, he's just a nervous Gertie.
No.
But
that's
Really? I mean, that's something I would do. I would like
No, it's
completely...
because he. This is my point. He normally isn't on the phone. He has staff doing it for him.
Right.
Or his wife doing it for him.
Right.
He's not normally on the phone. But when he's on stage, he's pretending like he does it all the time.
Oh, yes. And then falling apart.
So pay attention to what I just said. Who's going to be at my seminar? Naomi. Why is Naomi going to be at the seminar? Because Naomi makes all the phone calls. I'm not going to pretend like I make all the phone calls. I mean, I used to, but I don't anymore. She's on point with that. We'd like to say that about Pete, too, but we haven't got him up to the point where he's making enough phone calls. That was a little carping comment there, by the way.
Well, I'm not an opening caller.
Who made that distinction?
I'm a real estate investor.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
And next thing he's going to say is, how's that working out for you? And he's going to say, I have 2 houses.
Well, thanks.
Look at him glow. Look at him.
He just said it for me.
Look at him. Look.
No,
Look.
the better part of it is
He's
this.
floating over there. He's not even sitting in his chair anymore.
No, the better part of it is this. You're so damn busy, I'm working all the contractor work out and the scope of work and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, folks. Here we go. I brought it for you. So, no, that's the real winner with it.
So we're going to actually get on the phone.
Yeah. But to
and
get
my intention is that you leave there with an appointment, and we tell you what to do with that appointment. And honestly, if it's a banging deal, then it's in Connecticut. I don't know. My car might be able to get there. We'll see. Maybe we'll partner up. Maybe we won't. I don't know. I can't make that promise until we see the deal.
Right.
But where are you going to learn that? And by the way, here's the amazing part. All of that is going to be before lunch. And then after lunch, I'm going to show. It's the only course that I've ever done this. I'm going to give you the paperwork that you need, and I'm going to show you how to fill it out.
People die for the paperwork because they're afraid of this. Because if you don't have the right paperwork, you could be in trouble. And you're going to give it.
Yep, I'm going to give. It's part of the course. I'm going to give the paperwork for what I'm charging for the course, which is $300, $297. It's worth just the paperwork.
It absolutely is.
It's worth just the paperwork.
Absolutely. I want to say
but
one.
Then, hang on. And then when we get done with that, after you buy it, I'm going to actually show you how we sell the house on my automated system and how to set it up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do all that one day.
And that is so easy. You sent me a video that I think was 6 minutes long or whatever it is, right? And I just watched the video and I followed it. I don't think I even asked you any questions. What about this and that? I just looked at the video, bought some signs, and just did what it said, and it started working.
Now that Naomi's been around, she had some ideas, and we've been testing stuff. And it's even easier.
Yeah, you got a way better system. I haven't told
Naomi this, but we actually have one of my coaching clients in Las Vegas who actually is testing a different way to do it, and he's crushing it. He put an ad on Facebook, got 20 applications in one day.
Ooh.
I believe it.
Yeah, but I don't know. We have to talk about it because his quality of an application and ours is much different.
True.
But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't. Anyways, my point is that what it's taken me 14 years to learn, I'm going to teach you in one day. And you're going to be able to leave there. And if you do the system, and this, I don't know how legal for me to say this, but you can actually buy a house and make money within 30 days.
You could.
Now, you wanted to say something.
No, I just want to say about when people are doing phone calls, and some people stutter, some nervous and professionals. When I'm on the phone, I actually try not to sound too slick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You gotta be.
Oh yeah. So
because if somebody called you to buy your house, they're not going to be, "Hello, I'd like to buy your house," and they can be a little nervous. They can be like, So you're supposed to sound like a human being.
I do
That's
that
fine.
all the time. That's what I was saying. Like that's something I would do in getting on the phone and acting like, somebody that doesn't know what they're doing.
Okay,
then they start talking to you.
So relax, just talk.
So there is going to be that listener that's like, and I'm going to pick on it, like Emma, who's not going to want to be on the phone. There is going to be those listeners.
Yeah.
I mean, Emma tried to do it and didn't like it, and there are some people that just don't like to be on the phone.
Right.
So if that's the case, I actually have an assistant service that will do it for you, so you can automate it. We don't do it because I'd rather keep it in house, but actually, and it's like for like $300 a month or something like that, you can buy like 40 or 50 hours of an assistant, which would be more than enough to get a deal.
Right.
More than enough to get a deal.
So there's no excuses, just none.
Or I can show you how to do my yellow letter campaign. I'll pull you aside, and if you don't want to do that, I'll show you my. I mean, that's what Finding Deals is. If you go to Flipping Houses Finding Deals for $1 free trial, which I was time releasing. I don't even know if Lamon knows. I was time releasing the information there.
Right.
I got tired of people sending me emails, so I just went in there. So for $1, you get the whole damn course.
Right.
So if you want to go steal my shit, then karma's on you. You know, I was worried about people doing that, but it's just like I have so much shit going on that I don't need to worry about who's stealing my shit. You want to go steal it? Go steal it. But it's $67 a month.
Right.
And we go in there after we leave the show every single week, and we go in there and answer questions for half an hour, 45 minutes. Who's doing that? For $67 a month, we're going to show you how to do a marketing campaign. We're going to show you how to find motivated sellers, how to actually weed them out with the prospect suspect form, so you know what you're getting when they're on the phone.
Right.
So you know what appointments to make and all the theories there for $67 a month. Really?
Yeah.
I think the problem is that is too cheap, and people don't believe it. I should charge like $197 a month, because we actually, the three of us collectively, what's our time worth? $1,000 an hour, maybe.
Yeah.
Collectively. I mean,
Easily.
We're always making offers. I mean, I've got 2 businesses. I mean, my time is like whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting a half an hour. Sometimes we stay on there 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. If you have questions, we just stay there. We leave this show, and we go into the private group, the $67 group, and we're there. We answer any questions, whatever questions come up. Last week, some dude had a question about deal structuring, so we talked about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Where are you going to get that?
No matter what you do in any education, you can go to YouTube to learn things and all that, but you're still going to have questions.
Right.
What about this and what if that? So you have to have somebody to talk to. You can't do that with hardly any of these.
Now, it's not my private. It's not my private coaching, because a lot of time when I first came out with it, I was calling it Coaching 101 because I thought it was just the first step of coaching. It's not my private coaching. So people thought they were going to go in there for $67 a month and they were going to get my coaching. That's not the case. I mean, my private coaching clients, they get everything I have. They get all the paperwork, they get all the help, they get me calling them during the week. There's 2 hours with a group phone call. I mean, it's a whole different thing, and that's what you really need. Some people really need to get it going. So, but this is just where are you going to go? You're going to do that with Ron LeGrand? Go somewhere every single week and get him on a recording. Get him on in a group or face to face on a camera, and say, answer any question you have. You're not doing that.
No, not at all.
At least he shows up at meetings and the conference. Robert Kiyosaki's a great guy. I love his books. I've never seen him. Yeah. I go to the Rocky Kiyosaki events. He's not here. That's fine. He's got so many people working for him.
But even with Ron LeGrand, we've been to his events. You talk to him, but not really. Mm-hmm. He's not really there. He's just there doing his event. Mm-hmm. Which, God bless him. I mean, he's done a lot of events, and he's. I mean, without him, I wouldn't be where I am. So
no. He finished years ago. Like, I'm done. Yeah. He set the whole thing up, and it's on automatic. It's on pilot, and he just shows up because why should he stay home?
So all my point is for 67. I'm not even here pitching. I'm just saying that stop dreaming, start making money. These are things you can do, like Peter was talking about, for $67 a month. I mean, the first month I charge you a freaking $1. If you don't have $1, then get out of my face. Stop sending me emails. Get out of here. Get off this podcast. Go away. I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you.
Wait a minute.
Get away from me.
You actually have to do something. You can't just can't hit the remote.
And there's probably
change the channel, turn it off, and there's money in your hand.
Yeah.
Just boom.
So you can go in there. I mean, just watch a half an hour video a day. Mm-hmm. Do something. You know what I mean?
The crazy thing about this is if you stopped and look, you think, gee, there's a lot of steps to this. I don't think I can do that. No. But there isn't that many. But any one of the steps is a simple step.
Right. It's very simple.
You learn one step and you figure it out.
Right.
And you tell, okay, I can do that. Wow, how about that? What's this other thing? How's that work? A lawyer? Yeah, you call up and you get a lawyer when you need it down the road someplace. Right. And it's not hard to do. I have a lawyer now. I call him on the phone. I text him, and he answers me. It's not hard. They're people.
That's right.
Yeah.
But all of it, like, a lawyer? I don't have a lawyer. Do you have a lawyer? What's an escrow? It's not. Every single step is simple.
Yeah.
And there's more than one step. I'm sorry, but, it's buying a house and selling a house. There's a couple steps.
That's right.
But every one of them, you learn.
And the thing that I'm trying to portray here is that I'm not a guru. I'm not anybody. I'm just a guy trying to run my business that has a big help button. I like to help people. And Peter Naomi's figuring that out, but Peter of all people, you know that. I mean, I don't talk about it much, but I mean, last year I gave away more than my salary, probably 1.5 times my salary. And I realized the other day I was writing something, and obviously I'm a philanthropist, and I didn't even know it. You know what I mean? I just made an arrangement with the church to be an executive on their board and promise them 20 hours a week. Where the hell am I going to get 20 hours a week? Ask me. Look at Naomi. Naomi's like, "Are you nuts?" Look, she doesn't even know this.
Yeah,
Right?
you spring out during the show, Bill.
Yeah,
Filling me in. It just happened.
Wow. Wow.
I had hints of it, but I caught it on Facebook this morning. There's Bill.
Let's see.
But the point that I'm trying to make is that I just have a big help button.
Yeah.
And we will talk about that. You have nothing to worry about. Yeah, you have nothing to worry about. I promise you have nothing to worry about. She didn't even know that. I should probably not have said that on the radio. But anyways, the point is that that if you are listening to this podcast and you're watching my stuff and you're wondering what you're doing or not doing, no, that's the wrong thing to say. If you're wondering why you're not making money, I think it's you. You need to look at your own objectives in life. You need to look at, you know, what are you doing? Because we're here to help you. I'm babbling about all this stuff because there's plenty of stuff that we have that will help you. I mean, just this week alone, Emma's telling me this morning that there's a person that bought some course with us and bought the wrong course, and she sent like 3 emails to her, and it's like, give me her phone number. And I just called her and left her a message because I don't want that to happen.
Right.
Now, am I going to do that? Am I going to spend a lot of time? No, but I care about what your results are.
Right.
And as long as I can keep sustaining it like so far I have been, of course, you know, giving 20 hours a week away may not be the right thing, but I couldn't resist it. Anyways, the point that I'm saying is that there's no reason why I've made it really simple.
Yeah.
And it keeps getting simpler. This one-day seminar that we're doing, of course, we're going to record it. I don't know what we're going to do with it after that, but it's all going to be in this course. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, this course, when I release it, it's going to be $297. It's going to be completely a pilot. It's a beta. It will soon. It's just going to have a release price of $297. It will only last a week or two, and then it's going to go up to $500, and then it probably within months will go up to $1,000 because it's worth it. It's a $2,000 course. I have many, 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 many friends in the internet business. I have many, many friends that do what I do, and they are harassing the living crap out of me. At least 4 people that I know harassing me, telling me the course I'm putting together is a $2,000 course.
Right.
And selling it for $300 is ridiculous. But honestly, I'm on the Henry Ford model.
Well, how much were his cars, Bill?
Yeah.
How much were his cars?
$300.
There you are. But at today's rate, today's inflation.
So anyways, I don't want to turn the point that I'm trying to the point that I'm trying to make is stop dreaming and start making money. What you need to do is you just need to get a little. I'm not asking you to go get a Yale degree. Just get a little bit, and I'm not asking you to like you know, even when a few months ago before we came up with this program, it was like mail letters and spend money on this and spend. We've even gotten it to where you don't even have to spend money. You need $100 for deposits. That's all you need. That's all you need. You don't even need to buy the leads. I mean, you could buy them to make it easier for $40.
Right.
But you can go on Google, and I'm going to show you how to go on Google and how to actually find the leads, and actually all you need to do is just call them. I mean, the way the script is written, as long as you got a teenage kid, you can have them call. As long as they just read the script.
You just find somebody in your family.
Yeah.
That's a caller. A salesperson or somebody that likes talking to people,
Right.
has that kind of job.
Doesn't even have to be a salesperson, you know, just
likes to talk to people.
So think of it this way, Pete. Think of it. This is the way I think of it. When I invented this, or not invented it, but when I put this together, this is what I was thinking. So what's the best thing that I could do for my students? What's the best thing that I can do? So I went around and around in my head, and around and around and around, and man, I'll tell you, it was a whirlwind.
I'm just glad I'm never in there.
Oh my God! Sometimes
I
wish I wasn't.
Right, Naomi?
Sometimes I wish I wasn't.
We're just glad we're on the outside of that.
You know, I could crack a few jokes, but
go for it. Come on, I take my shots when I can. So, are you going to give me one? You're
Not
thinking
right
about
now.
Okay, good.
Oh, she's sick.
I've got like
I
1,
keep-
2, 3, 4, 5. Which one is the best and
I'm
most?
giving you a shot. Otherwise, I'm going to move on.
Just save them for the right moment. Just slide them right in. Just get them ready. Okay.
Peter
Any
showed you how
minute.
to do that.
Just slide it in.
The best thing that I think I can do for someone is if they find a deal, I actually walk in the house of their deal and make the deal for them. Is that the best thing I can do for anybody?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Naomi was a student and she called me up and said, "Hey, Bill, I got this house at 123 Main Street, and here's what they want to do. Can you close the deal for me?"
Mm.
Would that or would that not be the best thing I can do for any student?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
that's the part
'Cause
people
then they-
wonder.
then
what,
they
what do I
see-
say? How do I do it? What if I don't? You know, they're not
Well,
sure how
not
to
only
do
that, it brings it into a belief. Like when you see it, seeing is believing. For a lot of people are like that.
Good. So I've actually done that.
Yeah.
I've actually made that possible. Want to know how?
Wow.
I wrote a script of exactly what I would say. So if you just stood in front of the person and with a piece of paper and just read it to them, exactly the way I would do it, it would be me making the offer, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Am I wrong? I mean,
Yeah,
if you
I
just,
mean, it's
if
you.
you just stood
It's
there,
a little bit different,
why?
but it's pretty powerful.
Okay,
You know, because it's not you in the flesh.
okay,
However, it is from you,
yeah.
which is pretty powerful.
So you're saying
It's
me
the
in the
words
flesh,
that you
there's
have.
something good here?
Yes, because every individual.
My cigar in my belly in the house?
Bill, you just have to give a cigar with the piece of paper.
Every individual
Actually,
has a
she's
certain.
broke me because when I'm with her, I don't smoke cigars. She's broke me. The first woman that's done that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I have that much respect for her. I don't smoke a cigar when I'm in the car with her.
Which is very appreciated.
Yes.
So all the bleeding eyes got to you, all the tearing eyes.
No, I just respect her and won't smoke when she's in the car. She's a health nut, which is very good because I want her to teach me how to do that. Honestly,
Okay.
I want to learn how to do it. I made up my mind. I want to get off. My mother keeps telling me stop eating bread and sugar. So I don't know how to do that. I don't. Other than eating eggs, that's my solution.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, we can have a conversation about
Oh,
that,
I bet
but not
we
on
are.
not on the podcast.
So
It is
anyways,
it is an addiction.
Yeah, I
There's a
agree.
name for the addiction, but anyhow, back onto what were we talking about?
We don't remember.
this
We
show
don't
is not
remember.
as organized as normal. So
I think we need 3 more people in the room.
I think what the point that I'm trying to make, I want to bring it around is that if you think you like what I do, and if you think that I'm successful, because I think I could be a lot more successful than what I am, and I'm working on that. But if you think I'm successful at buying and selling a house, this is your opportunity, because not only am I going to teach you how to do it, simple. Now, are you going to become Donald Trump doing this? No, I don't think so. This is one simple strategy that will at least get you a few thousand, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, and get you started.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to teach you how to do subject to deals. I'm not going to teach you how to do owner financing. That will come later. All I'm going to do is show you about how to use options and how to use a lease with them. And there's a couple different ways to do it. And I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'm going to make it so damn simple. It's the Henry Ford model. That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to teach, just get you started, get your toe in the pond, and make it so that every American that wants to make extra income with real estate can do this. Now, let's go back to what you were talking about, what we talked about last week. Why don't people know about this strategy? Right? Why is it a mystery? We're going to use your word. Why is it a mystery?
Right.
Well,
It's.
go ahead.
I mean, it's a mystery because, well, first of all, back to what we were saying last week, not everybody makes as much. It's you're cutting into other people's markets. So if you're doing a transaction
There you go.
where you don't need an attorney, you don't need a real estate agent,
You don't need a
there's
banker,
right?
insurance
a banker.
guy, title guy, right? Title insurance.
Right.
You don't need to have any of that.
So that's 5 major industries that you're cutting into, and not everybody wants to.
Peter and I
advertise
closed
that.
last week on a house that we paid. How much we paid for the house?
Which Manchester or
Yeah.
Newington?
What's the only one that we closed on so far? We're closing.
Oh,
the other
close.
one today.
Yeah, 93.
So we paid $93,000
Right.
for the house. It cost us almost $2,500 in closing fees.
Yeah.
So divide that, Pete. Oh, I got a calculator here. It's not working. Divide that 2,500 into 93,000. Why is that calculator not working? Oh, I got to turn it on. Duh.
This is one of those.
This is like a comedy show.
Oops, too many.
This is.
That's 3%. And it's a cash deal. There was no.
Yeah.
This was quick, slam, bam, thank you, ma'am, and we did it like in 5 days.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, we teach now. It's because we didn't use a realtor. We didn't. I mean, this is so. We teach that an average closing costs between 12 and 13%. Right. I'm just telling you that we closed at 2.7%. We spend on closing costs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think that's a lot.
It is a lot.
I mean, if you do multiple, if you do, so that's 2,500 or 3,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you do 3 of them a month, that's 10 grand.
Right.
Or
It's
4 of them
cutting
a month.
into industries. So
Okay.
of course industries.
And that's just one little guy,
Yeah.
right? And we're not a full boat. I mean, we didn't, we didn't use the realtor, we didn't use the banker, we didn't use any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So, who's telling you that you should buy real estate? Who's telling you that?
The TV is telling.
Okay.
And you're watching TV.
Good.
Because you can get it all done in 20 minutes and then you have a profit of like 50,000. And
But honestly, doesn't the realtor tell you should buy an investment property?
absolutely.
And then they get the ball rolling, right?
Yeah.
So they're the ones out front holding the torch,
Yes.
right? And they're like, buy real estate, it's a good investment.
Yes.
Right? Then behind them, you have the banker who's going to lend you the money. Behind them, to make sure the banker's okay, he's going to want to make sure there's a title insurance and a title search done. I mean, my title search is right now like $200.
Yeah.
I mean, so that alone is just $200. I still do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is good.
So you got title insurance. You got title. Then you got the insurance guy. You got to protect it. Make sure if it burns down, the banker gets his money back.
Yeah.
Right. We haven't even tapped into the contractor. We haven't tapped into the guy. I got to meet the guy today to plow snow. I got to write him a check.
Yeah.
We haven't tapped into the lawn guy. We haven't tapped into the cleaning lady. We haven't tapped into all those. We haven't tapped into Home Depot.
Right.
Where we buy all the materials. Haven't tapped into any of that stuff.
There's a lot of major industries playing into all of this.
Right. All I'm saying is why would they tell you about this strategy if you got really good at it, you stopped using their services?
Right.
Why would the realtor tell you how to go find people that are motivated on Google without their assistance and not get their 6% or 4% or 3% or 2% or whatever it is? Why would they do that?
Well, do they even know that?
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of them don't even know about it.
Right. Why? Because it
Because
doesn't make
it's
them
not-
money.
It's not their job.
Right.
Not their job.
It's not their mission.
Yeah.
Their mission is not to save you money.
Mm-hmm.
Their mission, think about the whole real estate industry anyways. It's like they get 6% of the total sale. That's the biggest misnomer that we run into when we're inside the house, because people don't realize, because how many times, both of you have seen me do this, right? How many times?
Yeah.
Well, how much is your check?
Right.
If you sell for $240,000, we had a conversation yesterday with one of our students. One of our students had a house, and we were kind of scuttlebutting around with it because she thought it was a deal.
Right.
We got on the phone with the guy, and we find out that it's he owes $160,000, right?
Yeah.
He wants $30,000 worth of cash to go renovate another house, right? So what did I say to him? I reversed it. Well, how much do you think you'd have to sell before you would be able to net $190,000?
Exactly.
I said, what, $220,000, $230,000 was being conservative? He said, no, $240,000. So he's got to sell for $240,000 to net $190,000.
Right. Right.
How does that happen? Right?
Yeah. Because the cost to sell is that, 12 to 15%.
So yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to make this really simple. And I have nothing against I have realtors. We have realtors that we use all the time. I totally get it. It's not the realtor's fault. It's just the industry, the way it's set up.
Yeah.
Right? My attorney, I talk to my attorney once or twice a day usually. On most cases. Not every day, but there's weeks where I do and then weeks where I don't, because it depends on how many deals I got. But right now I talk to him once or twice a day.
Yeah.
Right? what would happen if I stopped calling him? What happened if everybody like me stopped calling him?
Mm-hmm.
Would he be in the real estate law anymore?
No.
Probably not.
No, he'd be doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody be doing.
So,
Yeah.
so I don't know any other way to say it except to stand on the top of the steeple and just yell and scream, "Hey, I can help you."
Right.
But then that makes me like I'm a guru and I'm like selling information, and I don't want that either. I just want to show my friends and my family how to do this.
Right.
Because here's the real truth. This is the real truth. If you really, really, really know me, this is the real truth. If I could help you, like Peter, we'll give Peter an example. Peter's true passion is I mean, he loves real estate, but it's not real estate.
Yeah.
If Peter had his way, he'd be in a rock band. He would. He'd be playing guitar in a rock band.
I can
And
see
he
that.
would be famous in a rock band. Am I wrong?
You're half right.
Okay.
That's at night.
Okay.
What am I doing during the day?
What are you doing?
You're
during the
sleeping
day?
because you stayed up so late. Because it's, they stay up till 4 in the
now
morning.
it's stay up late and get up early. No, I'd be helping people with studying how to
Yeah,
learn.
study tech.
I'm a specialist in that too,
Mhm.
believe it or not.
Okay, so ask
So-
him why he doesn't do those. Go ahead, you ask him. 'Cause
Why
I know
don't you do that, Peter?
Don't make me enough money.
Why not?
Well, the rock band world is a whole other story, but
Yeah.
what I do is not recognized. I've been to the Capitol. I've been in front of presidents of colleges, principals, education committee in my state. They
Mhm.
don't get it. And I don't have the money and the resources to keep hammering at it to convince them that there's another way to do this correctly. I have a new student with 2 parents. I know the brother-in-law for years. He used to be a student of mine for years. And they're both teachers, and one works for DCF telling them what to do in education. And I got stuff that would turn his head. And he sat there, and just in teaching my student, I did things in front of him. And I'm like, wow, look at that. Look, how do you know that she didn't understand that? And wow. So maybe I can help him help them. But that to me, that's more important, to help people, and especially kids. I've tutored kids. I've saved them from problems in school and changed their lives. So that's important to me.
So that's his passion. You see how he's talking
Right,
about it right
yeah.
now? It's his passion.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
right.
so
That's-
so now watch this. So if I show him how to generate income so that he can pay his bills, just pay his bills. He's not
Right.
asking for $1 million.
$500,000.
If he just
think
paid
that's
his
quite
bills and had
reasonable.
money in the bank
Yeah.
and he could live comfortably, what would he do? What he would want to do passionately. So to me, it's not about real estate. To
Right.
me, it's about freeing people from their economics
Yeah.
and allowing them to do what they want. I mean, I've met people that, for example, I was with my buddy last night. We're talking about I'm buying a building for the cigar shop. We're going to move the cigar shop, and the guy that runs the cigar shop, you know what his passion is? It's changed. Now this guy's like in his 50s. Okay, his wife is pregnant, and she's got a high-powered job, and he intends on fully backing, sliding out of his business a little bit,
Right.
so he could take care of his kid and keep because his wife. Obviously, it was an accident,
Right.
right? And he doesn't want her to give up her career.
Right.
Obviously, she makes money and likes what she does. So he's revamping his business to take care of his kid, so that his mother-in-law and him could take care of the kid, and she can still work.
Wow. Wow.
That's
Good
a
for
passion.
him. Yeah.
That's a passion, right? So he's setting up his business to do that. So all I'm saying is that it's real. I mean, this is real. People, if I help people relieve themselves of the pressure
Right.
of having to pay the mortgage and the car payment. Now, I'm not saying that you can live in a $900,000 house.
Right.
Maybe you can, but just the average common guy that has that mortgage payment, $1,200, $1,500, $1,800, whatever,
Yeah.
and you could relieve yourself of that. Or maybe you make your job or whatever, and you want to work part time, and you want to start paying your debt down, pay a credit card off. Imagine if you had an extra $3,000 a month to send to a credit card.
Right.
Or you have kids. Like I talked to somebody the other day, somebody that just joined up on my coaching client and my coaching group. Him and his wife make great money. You know what he wants? He's got a 13-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 7-year-old or something like that. And he's like, if I just made $3,000 or $5,000 a month, I got to put that in a college fund
Yeah.
because I got to pay off for
He's
college
good.
because
He's golden. Yeah.
he can keep making his job, but he can do that.
Yeah.
This will allow him to do that.
Absolutely.
The crazy thing about the way you're talking about it, when you buy a house, if you there's a Coverdell education fund that's like an IRA for kids.
Yeah.
$100 from that account. You had $100 there to buy the house on an option.
Yep.
And the money you make just goes back in there. That is not taxed.
Right.
That goes to the kid for education. No tax.
But you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
We're-
With $100.
Yeah.
People have too much attention on money. The reason why they have too much attention on money is because there's a scarcity mentality, because they don't have a system that will make money. I mean, there's not anybody that I don't know that has a lot of money, unless it was given to them,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't have some sort of a machine, a.k.a. a business.
Yeah.
Right.
I like to think of it as a machine because you build it. You build the parts to it, and it flows. And in the morning you do this, and you check that, and make sure that's there, and it just works and flows along.
And what we're going to show you, that's right, Peter, what we're going to show you is a machine that's not complicated. It's a little machine that you can actually put in your living room and actually make income. And your intention and your time and your belief and your ideas, your considerations, whether they're good or bad, will allow you to go as far as you want with this machine. It will run forever as long as you just put your intention into it. That's the fuel of this machine, is you intend to actually buy a house a month or a house every other month. I mean, I just had this conversation with Jessie. Jessie's my oldest daughter. She's kind of fallen off, and I've been up her ass a little bit because I'm like, she's 7 months pregnant, I think. Her baby's due in March, so I'm asking her, okay, so you're on maternity leave. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not discrediting having a baby. Having a baby is very arduous for a
You're
woman.
excited about being grandpa.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Peter. I've had kids. I mean, I got a couple kids. I've been through this. One thing I do know is the baby's born, and it changes your lifestyle. But a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, your body's healed.
Mm-hmm.
Things kind of go back to normal. I know, Jessie, it won't be long.
Mm-hmm.
She's got 4 months maternity leave.
Oh.
What are you going to do?
Right.
Like, hello? She'll be looking at houses for us. It's like, get your ass out there. Bring the kid with you. Bring the kid over here. I'll watch him. You go look at the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no reason for her not to do that. She's got college debt, Stop complaining about that. This is a perfect way. If she did a house every other month and made $3,000, right? How much is that? $18,000.
Yeah.
If she did that for 5 years, her college debt would be gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's
Right.
the way you should look at things. You look at what you want to do, or problems you have to solve, or what you want to accomplish.
Right.
You break it down, like how many. I need 5 more students to cover my bills, or to get past that, or
I do that.
need.
I
But
look,
let's-
I look at,
let's-
I look at a
houses
car.
doing?
I look at a car and I think, how many houses do I have to buy to pay for the car?
Right.
Oh, just one. Okay, I'll buy it.
Right. But let's break it down even further, because it comes down to, like you mentioned earlier, Bill, the daily activities.
Right.
So when you break down, okay, I'm going to take 2 hours of today in the evening or whenever you have 2 hours, and I'm going to make phone calls. And you do that every single day.
I'm telling you, Naomi, you don't even need to do that. We have a way where you can hire an assistant
Yes.
to actually do that for you. If you don't have the time, you want at least. What I'm saying
Right.
is even not even doing the opening calls.
Right.
Even if you just had had an assistant do the opening calls and you did the closing calls, which we're going to show you how to do this in the seminars and the course and everything.
Right.
All you need to do is just call them. How long do you spend on a closing call? 20 minutes? Half an hour?
About
Okay.
half an hour, yeah.
So if your assistant called 20 people a day, okay, and out of those 20 people, they'll end up with 3 or 4 appointments, 3 or 4 people that say they're
Possibles.
interested.
Right.
Okay, possible people, the 3 or
Yeah.
4. Okay, so out of that, you're only going to have 1 or 2 appointments that you're going to have to go look for this thing. So the time. So what you're saying is if you become the closing caller, and you have somebody else doing the opening calls, on the machine,
Right.
use this assistant or however you're going to do it, a kid or whatever, right? You don't even need to have 2 hours a day.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You do it in 8 or 10 hours a week.
But
If
the
that.
thing is, it's just like outflow. Outflow keeps going. And in that 2 hours, you can be educating yourself. If you
Right.
have somebody else doing it for you, beautiful.
Yeah.
Educate yourself.
Yeah.
But just that consistent daily progress.
Right.
And you still have 2 hours to watch TV.
But the point that I want to make
Yeah.
here is a lot of people think 2 hours a day. There's no way I have that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, instead of getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning, get up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And instead of going to bed at 9 o'clock at night, go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. And if you don't have 2 hours, do a half an hour.
Right.
Half an hour in the morning, half an hour at night.
Right.
For a long time, I beat the drum. The way that you're going to get real estate started is to work an hour a day on your marketing and an hour a day on your prospect, your customer calls. Do a half an hour. Do a half an hour a day on your marketing and a half an hour a day working on your calls.
Yeah.
And at this particular point, we don't even have to do the marketing. Just do the for sale by owner script that we're talking about for a half an hour a day. I mean, in a half an hour, you could talk to 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
And if you did that a half an hour a day, okay, by the end of the week, you would have somebody that would be interested. And within a week or 2, you will have somebody that you'll be sitting in the house pitching them.
Right.
Or not pitching them, but showing them what we do.
Right. It's just a constant thing. And
it's a numbers game.
Yeah, it's a numbers game. Exactly. And also, you're keeping your mentality sharp. If you miss a day, you start getting a little bit fuzzy.
Right.
In 2 days. A little fuzzier. I have this saying. It's probably a bad saying, but it's like, keep your teeth sharp.
Yeah.
And you're always moving.
Right.
So
when I say stop dreaming, I want to summarize it so we can end off. So stop dreaming and start making money.
Right.
Do you feel like we've done that today?
Yes. I mean, today wasn't as much as like the details you should do, but it's just that you should do it.
Yeah.
Is it?
I want it to portray that it's believable. You can do it. This is not some mountain you have to climb. I mean, it's barely that. It's an anthill.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a mountain. It's an anthill.
Mm-hmm. I think that because of all the gurus and the mystery of it, it somehow got to this big mountain in the sky of, oh wow, look at me, I'm the investor.
Right.
And
I think it's even simpler than that. I think that there's so many steps, or there's so many ways to buy and sell real estate that everybody has their own opinion, right? And what happens is you'll buy a course for $1,000 or $2,000, and it's complex.
Yeah.
So here's how I want my course to be, and this is what I'm working on: is you do this and you get a result and you feel happy.
Right.
And you do this, you get a result, and you feel happy. So every step, you're like making major hurdles and getting your deal.
Mm-hmm.
And you build confidence quickly.
Right.
And it's not a long runway. See, what I want to do is I want to shorten up the runway. I mean, I made that decision a year ago, Peter and I were talking about, is shorten up the runway on the training. How do we do that? And it's taken. I've spent
just
tens
focus.
of. I'm telling you, I've spent tens. Emma will tell you because she pays for some of the bills. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And a year and a half, maybe longer, with Peter, and now you.
Yeah.
Trying to make it simple.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've spent that much money. I mean, I don't have to do this. I don't. I mean, we could just simply keep doing my real estate business, and everybody would be fine. We don't. I mean,
nobody.
We don't have
nobody
to,
would
if
know.
the three of us meet here every single morning, I mean, Thursdays are a horrible day for me because half the day is blown with just podcasts.
Right. Right.
For free.
We don't spend this much time together working on the business.
Exactly.
That's my bitch lately. Can we spend some time together working on the business?
Right.
We do this and we go home. Wait a minute. We're here. Let's work.
Yeah. Yeah, because we leave here like this afternoon. I have appointments all afternoon.
Yeah.
I have appointments all the way till 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
Right. Now they're not back to back, but
they're
But I
they're
have commitments all day long.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking the other day, what's my time worth? I used to think it was worth $250 an hour. It's not. It's worth more than that now.
Yeah.
Because I just, Peter called me yesterday. We were supposed to talk about. We have a house that we bought. We've got $100,000 on the line. $100,000. And we don't have enough time because he's hiring contractors and he has questions from me. And I'm like, I'll call you later.
You're supposed to call me back last night.
Oh. I thought you were supposed to call me.
No, you said I'll call.
You said I'll call you between 6 and 7.
We're on the podcast, guys.
Well, there you go. See, that's exactly what happens. My point.
So you're waiting for me. I was waiting for you. Okay. Okay.
So, in summary, it really, honestly, if you're listening to my podcast and if you listen to multiple podcasts, I'm being a real jerk right now. It's not me, it's you. You could be making money. And the reason why you're not making money is you don't believe in me and my system. You haven't fully bought into me and my system. And if you think that I'm here pitching you and that I'm going to make money and I'm making $300 or $500, God bless you, because the way you do something is the way you do everything. It's not just with me. You're going to have the same problem with sellers. You're going to have the same problem with contractors, and you just don't realize there's enough to go around.
Mm-hmm.
And honest to God, if you knew how much money and how much time we spent, I just told you some of it, to make things simple, you would gladly give us the money. It has nothing to do with the money. Absolutely nothing to do with the money. If it did, I'd be selling this shit for $2,000, and I could easily do that.
Right.
I know how to do the marketing. I know how to do the web pages. I know I have Emma that would work on this 40 hours a week, and we would build it. And I'm not doing it for that reason. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make the Henry Ford model.
Right.
And if you don't believe that, then you lose. Sorry, I'm being such an ass right now, but because it is really simple. I mean, anybody that's done this system that we're talking about, it's $100 deposit. You don't need a business name. You don't need an attorney. You don't need a realtor. You don't need a banker. You don't need a contractor. You don't need anything except your intention and attention to do this.
Right.
That's it. You don't need anything other than your decision on doing this.
But Bill, you're taking all your excuses away.
That's exactly right. Because I've been here, I'm tired of them.
I've watched you. I've listened to your coaching calls with your students. Talk to people like, you don't have to do the marketing. You don't have to send letters out. You don't have to put signs up. Just call somebody. They're almost like, just call them.
Right.
But that's the part I can't do. I was doing the marketing, so I wouldn't have to call them.
Right.
Or I was not doing the marketing, so I wouldn't have to call them. But just call them directly.
Can't hide anymore.
There's
other ways to do it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is the only way, but for the beginner, that's what I'm concentrating on this year, is the beginner, the person, or somebody that wants consistent income. It doesn't even have to be a beginner. I mean, we have 5 houses right now, or 6 houses right now, right? But what did I tell you yesterday? I don't have any appointments. I don't have any appointments. Naomi, I haven't done an appointment. Where's my appointments, Naomi? We need to keep going. We can't slow down now.
Always have to
keep
move
the
forward.
pipeline full.
Yeah.
Right. So, and they go in waves. There's lease options and there's subject tos and cash deals, and they're all coming from this system. The marketing we're doing right now is absolutely phenomenal, and it's too simple.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we don't know it is because of what we talked about. Too many people don't make enough money with it, so they won't show you how to do it.
Right. The other thing too is when you get it real simple, it kind of takes away the excuses and it exposes, I can do this.
Yeah.
And sometimes people use all the little steps as a method of procrastination.
That's what Pete's saying, yeah.
It's excuses.
Yeah, it's excuses.
I can't because I don't have money for the marketing. I don't have this, I don't have
once
that.
I get to this, then I get to that, and it's just like you just have to dive in, be afraid to fail, and you might just surprise yourself when it pulls through.
So I think I haven't talked to anybody about this. This is something I've been thinking the last couple of days. I'm going to just kind of put it there so I have to do something about it, because if I talk about it, then I have to do something about it. Yep. But we're actually going to form, I think once we get the course up and running, we're going to actually form a closed Facebook group that's not going to be a lot of money, and you can go in there and we're going to coach you. So not only am I going to offer the course, but I'm going to offer you coaching.
Yeah.
Me coaching in there for not a lot of money. Just to get you going, to answer any questions. There should be not questions, but there will be. And just like we do the 6, we're going to probably take down the funding deals, because when it flushes out, and we'll put everybody into the other group, and we're going to go in there. We're going to do a video like we're doing now, and we're going to make sure you have support from us, not from somebody not doing it, from us. So if you don't think I'm dedicated after this show, then I don't know what else to do. It's not me. It's because you guys do it with me.
Yeah.
You guys are here on your own time. I don't pay you guys to be here.
That's true.
We do our meetups. You come there for 3 hours. You don't get paid for that.
We are working. We share we share the passion in helping people and wanting to unlock people from their ideas of that they can't do it and they can.
We're gonna unlock the vault so you can make money. Okay, I think we said our piece. Stop dreaming, start making money. That's it. So so many people dream about making money with real estate investments. Listen to this podcast for a major breakthrough on how you can collect real estate profit within the next month using a $100 deposit. I didn't go into the details today. We'll talk about that. The week's coming. But today was more about your belief system. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that you can do this? And if you don't, then listen to a few more podcasts and keep listening to us until you're ready. But when you believe it,
it's going to happen.
And you buy into the theory that you can do it,
Mm-hmm.
then your life will change. And we're going to help
Yep.
you.
So let's change some lives.
Perfect.
Yep.
Over and out. Talk to you next week.
Over and out.
Thanks for tuning in to the hottest real estate topics on the planet with Bill and Pete. If you want to continue learning how to buy and sell real estate without money or credit, head over to flippinghouses.club for some cutting-edge real estate wealth tools. Or contact us at info@flippinghouses.club.